All right, introduction to computers. This is the last day before the final. We covered information systems, a number of things, and we did the project presentations. And Friday is the final, and I remind the students, make sure you study. You can look through all the previous tests. All right, so again, talked about information systems. We have data stored in databases. We're able to take that information in some type of a query and pull out what has value to us. Okay? We talked next a little bit about security. We showed a video. The video had to do with credit cards and frequencies. Radio the frequencies that they can use to pay for items with your credit card, and how those frequencies, well, we used it, talked about security. Here we talked about the internet, talked about security of the internet. We reviewed this, and we did a little example here about how somebody might exchange some information. So if Matt needs to send a message to Mike, Mike can send his public key. Matt can use it to encrypt the information so nobody can read it. And then it goes over here, and Mike can decrypt it using his private key. Nobody else could decrypt it because nobody else has a private key. Matt could hash the message or hash something and create a signature, and then he can encrypt it with his private key, send his public key over. Mike now has Matt's public key, and he can decrypt the message that Matt sent, which means that would have to be Matt. Anybody could decrypt it, but it had to come from Matt. So then this exchange can show you how that can take place. Okay? We talked about the hack on the AP press and how that affected the stock market, how some algorithm was able to read these words and affect buying and selling. We talked about artificial intelligence, talked about robotics a little bit, and expert systems. Expert systems have a knowledge base which is filled with rules. A knowledge base, an expert system through an inference engine will ask a question. With a database, we ask the database with a query and it gives us a response. The knowledge base asks us a question, the inference engine goes through the rules, and then it decides what question to ask next, and it works towards a possible solution. We talked a little bit more about how computing decisions that are made, information, and just on our gut reaction. We talked about the three different types of decisions: structured, semi-structured, non-structured. Talked a little bit about Federal Express, UPS, how they load the trucks to deliver the packages using some type of software to make that the most efficient. We went over business-to-business e-commerce, business-to-customer e-commerce, and customer-to-customer e-commerce. And so, this was basically the information plus some other things we talked about in class. They did their project presentations today. And that's it.